kind of in person, and you're doing this interview on game day. I mean, wow. I am shocked, but we appreciate your time. Thank you for this.
Yeah, no problem, guys. I was going to talk to you guys yesterday, but I was on a dad duty, so no dice. Cannot skip that.
Yeah, no, there's no question about that. That's right. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. So I'm glad you're taking a few minutes for us today. We just watched the point and the guys celebrating there. It just seemed like there was a lot of joy in that moment. Describe how it feels to reach 1,000 points in this league, because it's hard for people to get one, more or less 1,000.
To be completely honest with you, I don't think it's kind of hit me quite yet. So, but obviously the joy right at that moment was, it was great. I think what makes it even more special really is, to celebrate with teammates. And, a few have been there. Brownie has been there for all of them. Drew's been there for about 90% of them. And Quickie's been there for about, 85% of them. So it's just nice to be able to share that moment with those guys that we've won together too. And it makes it a little bit more special that way.
Kobe, was the plan always to win the defensive faceoff, and no matter what, if someone you gave the puck to them, they had to shoot it for sure because they had to get it there?
We're going to go with that one for now, but in about 10 years, when the video gets lost, we're going to say how I went end to end and made a nice move.
You mentioned how many moments that you have shared with some of the core members of that team out in LA. When you were drafted, could you have imagined that you would have spent your entire career in one place? And what does it mean to you to be able to do something like that? Because I feel like as we move on here, it gets more and more rare, not just in hockey, but in all sports.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I guess 15 years ago, if somebody would have told me that, to have a career like I'm having right now, I probably wouldn't have believed them. But, obviously being very blessed and very humbling feeling to be here in one spot for 15 years and hopefully a few more obviously to come. So very blessed, very happy. I mean, this is my home right now. So, my kids have been born here. My wife obviously has been here double digits years now, so we're settled in and we're very happy around here.
Kopi, how's this year been for you? Because obviously the Kings are rebuilding a little bit. You have some of the older Lions like yourself and Drew and Jonathan Quick and Dustin Brown. All of you guys have actually played very well this year. The kids are trying to find their way. You guys have had some ups and downs. There were stretches where things went well, other stretches where it was more of a struggle for you. How has it been for you in this crazy year with fans, no fans, and playing all the same teams over and over and over again?
Yeah, it's been an odd year to say the least, obviously. I think as a team, we're finding strides. I think last year, obviously, towards the end of the year, we went on a winning streak, and then the world pretty much stopped. And then this year coming in, there were still some question marks, and I think even though maybe the record doesn't show, but we're moving into the right direction. I think pieces are falling into places where they need to be, and we're growing as a team. I think the young guys are getting more experience, which we all know it's obviously huge. And, I guess us older guys will keep trying and just kind of pulling those guys along and get them to where we need them to be successful as a team.
Anze, you clearly are a veteran now, and a lot of people talk about being a mentor to the young guys, and maybe Quinton Byfield specifically. Can you remember that moment in time in your career when you went from being, a young guy or a player to now you are the guy and a mentor? And if you think back to early in your career, who maybe was a mentor to you when you were first breaking in?
Well, when I first broke in, now GM Rob Blake was still on the team. He was my first captain, and then or scratch that, actually, Matty Nordstrom was my first captain, and then Blakey took over the next year, and then Craig Conroy was there, Scott Thornton. All these guys, right, that have kind of shown me the ropes, really took me under their wings. And at that point it was just ears wide open and just follow and try to learn as much as I could. And I think over the course of 15 years, I hope that I've had a little bit of an impact on a few of the young guys, and we'll try to continue doing that.
Well, you got a big game tonight taking on the Colorado Avalanche. I'm curious to get your thoughts on some of the players on that side as an opposing player who has been in the league for quite some time. I mean, you've seen it all. When you see a guy like Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, I mean, Cale Makar is still just mind-blowing when you think about how little time he has spent in the league. What can you tell us about some of those players on the other side and what makes them so special?
I mean, the first word that comes to mind is very dynamic, obviously. And I've experienced that firsthand, trying to chase him all over the ice all the time. So that's not as much fun as it sounds. But no, I mean, obviously with Nate Landeskog and Mikko, that's arguably the best line in the NHL anyway. So you know, it's obviously nice to compete against them, and going up against a challenge like that, it's always fun. And that's why we play, really. I mean, it's the challenges and the competing part that's going up against your peers and try to essentially beat them.
Kopi, one more for me. And again, congratulations on just a spectacular career. And you got a lot of time left. So we're going to be talking to you for many years to come, because you still are a really high-end player in this league. So congratulations for all you've done so far, and looking to the future for even more. But I did want to go back to what Johnny mentioned about Quinton Byfield, because he's cut from the same cloth. He's a big, strong centerman. He's a young kid. I mean, he was one of the youngest players in the draft. There's high expectations on him. What are you seeing so far? What do you like about what you've seen? And what are the things you think that he will have to kind of, moving through his career, develop to get better?
I really like the stuff that I'm seeing with Quinton. I think he's, you know, like I said, eyes and ears wide open, and he wants to learn. And to be able to, you know, play a few games with him now, I think it's really good for him too, obviously, to grow and, you know, just to get his feet wet and get a good idea what he needs to work on and everything. But he's just a very good kid. Very humble, and I think you know, you're going to hear a lot of stuff about him in the future, and you know, obviously in a positive way. And I'm excited for him to grow as a player and as a teammate.
Anze, we know you're not old, you're not done, but you did just hit a milestone, so it's time to get a little reflective. And you think back, you know, Slovenia, maybe not a hockey hotbed. You know, what was it like from where you started and playing around with your dad and your coach and everything else, and all the way now? Like, where does your mind go when you think about kind of your unusual beginnings and path to the place you're at now?
Well, that's, you know, it's always really a happy place, I think, for majority of the professional athletes, really, is you go think back and how it all started. And for me, it started in the backyard. I mean, right now it's kind of ironic, because I started skating when I was about 4 years old, and my son is 4 years old now, and he just joined one of the Junior Kings teams around here, so he's buzzing around all over the ice. And it just kind of brings me back to that, you know, how you, I don't know, push the chair to start skating and all of that. And then obviously my dad being such a big part of my career, my life, and my hockey career, him being my coach, and then to be able to experience Olympics together with him, and you know, now my family being a part of, you know, the 1,000 game and now the 1,000 points. It's just really remarkable and very joyful and humbling feeling.
Well, you're also a dog dad, and you probably don't know this, but for whatever reason on this show, there's just been a dog theme this year. Like Hedman brought his dog on. I think DeBrincat brought his dog on. We found some pictures of your dog, so why don't you introduce us to your furry friend there? What's the name of the dog? I heard the dog was nominated for Dog of the Year in the NHL. I mean, what's the story?
Yeah, so his name is Gusto, and he is on his way. And
Yes!
We have another visitor here. You want to say hi?
Yeah, there we go.
That's the best.
Yes.
Hello.
That's the little hockey player now. What's your name?
Awesome.
Jacob.
That's Jakob, right?
And at 4.5, and I even have
Do you have a scratch on your nose today, or is that just some fruit? Some fruit. Okay, now we got to show Gusto.
Good. Getting your fruit and veggies is important.
Oh, he doesn't want to go off the stage there. I don't blame me.
This guy.
He likes the limelight. There he is.
So cute.
There we go. Yeah, there we we go.
And then we have another one too. She does not want to miss that. So there you go.
Everybody needs to get a little bit of airtime here.
Can you say hi and wave? There you go.
Hi.
Oh,
right.
Oh my gosh. Well, listen, we appreciate the time and meeting the whole family. So thank
There
you
you
guys
go.
for coming
Everybody's
on.
here.
From now on, Anze, like the kids got to do every interview.
That's right.
That's the new rule.
Sure. Right?
You guys want to close us out and say bye with a wave?
All right.
Bye-bye.
Say goodbye. What do you say? Go Kings, go?
Go Kings, go!
Yay! We love it. We love to see it.